Hello, welcome to Calm AF. This podcast is for high performers who are fueled by dysregulation, but you swear you're fine. I'm Kristen, I'm on to you, and I'm here to help you do two things: recalibrate your nervous system and upgrade your identity. Let's dive in. I want to start with a client story. This woman, she is the founder of an amazing organization that's doing really, really important work in the world. And as the founder, one of the things she does pretty frequently is ask people for money, like a lot of money. And 90% of the time, probably more, she hears yes, because like I said, super important work. So this day, she needed to reach out to someone that she already knew pretty well, someone who had donated a significant amount of money to an organization that she'd worked with previously. They had history, but this time felt different because she was asking him to donate to her organization, not just any organization, hers. So she was already feeling a little nervous. It felt more personal. So we worked through that. I reminded her, you're just making up stories. This person respects you. I mean, he's probably expecting that you are going to be asking for money. Just send the message and ask to meet. So she did. She texted me, okay, sent it with a little scared emoji. And I sent her back my favorite emoji, the one with the party hat and the noisemaker. Yay, you did the hard thing. That was probably around 11. Around 3 o'clock that afternoon, I am on a call and my phone is just blowing up. It's buzz, 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 buzz. Messages coming in rapid succession. I open Voxer and it's like, it's been 4 hours. He hasn't responded. Why hasn't he responded? I know he's in town. He's got this event that he has to go to tonight. It's because he knows what I want. He doesn't want to give me money. He thinks my idea is stupid. You know, you've been in a place like this before, where you've sent a message that you were already a little nervous to send, maybe to your boss or a client, someone that you're dating, a new friend. You send the text and you hoped for a quick reply, and it's just not coming. Like 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 4 hours. And what happens in those minutes isn't your brain going, oh, it's fine. They're probably busy. I'm sure they will reply as soon as they can. Hell no. Your nervous system dispatcher is sounding the alarms. You are obsessively rereading what you sent. You are checking the tone. You are looking for what you said wrong or what they may have misinterpreted. You are coming up with every possible explanation for why they haven't answered yet. You cannot think about anything else. You're not going to be able to focus on anything else until you know for sure what is happening in that gap. That's what we're going to talk about today. This uncertainty gap, this intolerance, why that space of the unknown can take even the highest performers out, flatten them. And we're going to talk about how to train your system to stop doing that, to stay steady in the in-between. So my client's waiting for a reply. Her nervous system is doing the most. By the time I was able to touch base with her, I knew she had already spent 4 hours spinning herself up. I read the text she sent. It was fine. So my only job was to gently and repeatedly bring her back to the truth. And the truth is that what was actually freaking her system out wasn't what her imagination was telling her. It was the opposite. What was freaking her out was that nothing was happening. There was no one rejecting her or praising her. There was no one saying yes or saying no. There were no problems to solve. What can you do in the interim before you have information? Nothing. And for a high achiever, doing nothing feels like a total loss of control. When there's nothing to do and you are a chronically dysregulated person, You make shit up. You make up problems that you can solve. You accept whatever your imagination is offering you, and you call it being responsible, being realistic. But realistic means based on what's actually happening, and nothing is happening. So you're not being realistic at all. You're playing pretend. If you don't believe me, you can just use your past worrying situations as data. If I asked you right now to look back at the 10 most recent pretend problems that you spent a significant amount of time trying to solve, my guess is that 9 times out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, whatever you were worrying about didn't even happen, which is exactly what happened with my client. She got regulated and moved on with her day, and she messaged me late that night. All is well. He was on a flight. We have a date set to talk. So I celebrated with my party hat and my noisemaker, and I sent her a reminder, told her to write it down and staple it to her face. I will not torture myself with made-up shit, because that's what it is, torturing yourself. That fear of the uncertainty, the reason why you're so afraid of it is because doing nothing feels like a total loss of control. And when you get in that space, you torture yourself with made up shit. And it's not a productive use of your time or your energy. So what to do? Well, as you know, we are not going to try to jump from uncertainty is an emergency to I love uncertainty. That's what we talked about last week, how identity level change isn't a total makeover. It's micro changes that compound over time. So we're just going to slowly build your tolerance for uncertainty, for the stillness, for the lack of doing, and we're going to do it 1 rep at a time. Let me give you a little exercise. Think of something in your life right now that's currently in this unknown, something you're waiting on, a conversation, a decision. I want you to imagine that uncertain situation is a ball, just a regular, small, nondescript ball, and you are holding it in your hands. This ball is not on fire. This ball does not have spikes coming out of it. It's not leaking or spinning or doing anything alarming. It's just a ball you're holding in your hands. This is the situation, the uncertain situation. You don't need to come up with a plan for what happens if it does suddenly burst into flames, because it's not doing that. What's true right now with this uncertain ball is that nothing is happening. It's kind of boring. And the reps you're taking are to see how long you can be kind of bored while you hold the ball. And when you catch yourself, when your nervous system is like, this is boring, we better come up with a plan. Let's plan for when the ball suddenly does catch fire. When that happens, you just gently bring yourself back to, that's not happening. Nothing is happening. You're not trying to convince yourself this ball is not going to burst into flames. You're just saying this ball right now is boring. Right now, nothing is happening. When uncertainty shows up and your brain wants to get to work on pretend problems, you nothing it. You nothing it. You don't try and fix it. You don't try and make it better. You nothing it. You let it be neutral. And every time you nothing something, just a teensy bit longer than the last time, you are practicing being a person who is not paralyzed in uncertainty. Not because you've prepared for every outcome, but because you know the unknown isn't dangerous. It's nothing. The more reps you take, the less dangerous the unknown will feel. The less time you will spend, the less energy you will expend on making shit up to torture yourself. An unanswered text will not rob you of a full day. Waiting to hear something doesn't mean you have to put your life on hold while you torture yourself until you know the answer, because you are practicing the identity of someone whose default setting is regulated, who doesn't make uncertainty an emergency, and you're doing it 1 rep at a time. That's how you build the muscle memory. And listen, right now you're like, yes, uncertainty is boring. But believe me, the next time someone takes just a skosh too long to reply to your text, your nervous system is going to be like, it's not a ball. It's a problem. Solve it. This ball isn't boring. It's about to burst into flames. Do something. That's going to happen, which is exactly why I write and send daily messages, a daily recalibration, one clean rep every morning before the day starts, asking you to solve imaginary problems. Click the link in the show notes, or you can head to KristenFinch.com and sign up there. They will start showing up in your inbox today. Also, if you love being around like-minded women and you want to practice making these principles a lifestyle, you're going to want to join Calm AF Life. This is not like a group therapy session. We don't spend time venting. We are co-regulating. We aren't rehearsing our old patterns. We are interrupting them by sharing wins. And we are up-leveling our identities one notch at a time. And I want to share this clip from a Calm AFer because we sometimes underestimate the power that we have to change things for the better, but it really is simple.
I just am living my Calm AF life every day. And it's really, so I work at a small startup pharmaceutical lab research company, and it's a lot of younger people, and a lot of us are women. And so breathe, I am safe has become like a catchphrase in the lab. When people are just like freaked out, I'm just like, breathe, you are safe. And we all say that now. And it's pretty funny.
I love that win so much because, again, when you learn how to not just get regulated, but stay regulated, and then you can be the example in the tiniest of ways for the people around you, it has such a snowball effect, and it just takes you. Okay, you don't have to love uncertainty. You just have to stop rehearsing that it's dangerous. It's not. It's nothing. That's the shift. Next week, we're going to talk about the power of doing nothing. So good. Get the daily recalibration. Get your reps in. I will talk to you next week.